Hey everyone, welcome to Algebra 2. This is our next section, which is dealing with matrices. Alright, we haven't really done much with matrices, so I'm going to do these videos to kind of help you get prepared. That way when we're in class I can answer any questions you have without having to go over big classroom instruction kind of stuff. So, what we're going to talk about is matrix representations. You haven't really looked at matrix representations before, so we're going to kind of use this as a jumping off point, a way to kind of just introduce matrices. You can see what they look like, and then we can build on them from there. So, here's what we got. We got a problem here that we kind of shows what we're doing, and it says on Saturday, Karina surveyed visitors to Snow Mountain with Weekend Pass and found that 75% of skiers plan to ski again the next day, and 25% plan to snowboard. Of the snowboarders, 95% plan to snowboard the next day, and 5% plan to ski. In order to display the information, she made a diagram. Here's a diagram that we're going to make. All right, so we're going to use this purple for skiers. Alright, and then we're going to use this red for snowboard. SB we're going to make for snowboard, and let's make skiers just purple, SKI. Alright, so how many of the skiers are planning to ski again? So we're going to say the next day they're going to loop back, and we're going to say 75%. So what I'm going to do is I make that a 0.75 right there. Okay, how many of those skiers are planning on going to snowboarding? So what we're going to do is we look at it and say 25% plan to snowboard. So I'm going to make another loop that goes from this spot to this spot. Arrow going that way, I know which way I'm going from skiing to snowboarding, and that's going to be 0.25. Alright, then if we look at the snowboarders, we're going to do kind of the same thing. The snowboarders are going to go back to snowboarding, and what percentage of the snowboarders are going back to snowboarding? 95% plan to snowboard the next day, so we're going to do 0.95. And how many of them plan to go skiing? Well, 5% plan to go skiing. So we're going to go over this way, and we know that the arrow is going that way. That wasn't a very good arrow right there. Okay, and we're saying that 5%, so 0.5 of the snowboarders are going that way. That's what's called a transition diagram. So you can see who comes back to where they are in the beginning, who's going to do the same thing again for a second day, 75%, who's going to stay snowboarding, 95%, and who's going to change from one to the other. It all starts with these points. Right here is where you ski, and right here is where you snowboard. Alright, so that's one type of diagram that will kind of allow us to get the information that we want in a diagram, in a visual way. The other thing we can do is we can make a matrix. Alright, so in the matrix what we're going to do is we are going to say today, who did what, and then tomorrow, who did what. Alright, and so we just have to kind of keep this consistent. Oh, there we go, so you can see it. Sorry about that. We're going to keep it consistent. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this one here, and then we're actually going to redo it. So today we're going to say who is going to ski, and who's going to snowboard, SB, and then for tomorrow, who's going to ski and who's going to snowboard. Alright, so now we're going to just have to say ski today, who's also going to ski tomorrow. Well, we know that 75% of the skiers who are today are going to ski tomorrow, so that's 0.75. And what percent of those skiers are going to snowboard tomorrow? 0.25. So let's actually clean this up a little bit and make this look like a real nice diagram. So let's do this. Today we got ski, and then today we have snowboard. And then on the top we have ski, and on the top we have snowboard, SB. Now our matrix is actually going to be, how we make a matrix is you use brackets. So we're going to use this bracket right here and bracket right here. We should have 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers in there, so that's where they should all be. Alright, so now let's go back and actually fill it out. I had started to fill it out, and now it looks a little bit better. It looks like a matrix. You don't necessarily need all this other stuff for a matrix to work, but it does help in here kind of organizing all of our information. So again, what percentage are going to ski again? 0.75. What percent are going to go from skiing to snowboarding? Well, that's this arrow right here is going to be 0.25. Alright, and then for the snowboarding, who's going to snowboard again tomorrow? It's going to be this red circle right here, 0.95. And what percent are going to go from snowboarding to skiing? That's this number, the 0.5 goes right there. So that would be a matrix, a transition matrix that goes from one day to the next. All right. So what I'm going to ask you to do is tomorrow in class, I'm going to ask you to come with this question answered. I'll see if we can zoom in a little bit on it. Oh, I can't zoom in that much because otherwise you can't read the whole thing. All right, how about there? That seems pretty close. All right, so here's your assignment. Create a transition diagram and transition matrix for the following scenario. So remember, again, I want a diagram and a matrix. We need one of each. It says, of the students who watch this video, 90% of the students will watch the next video. 10% will not watch the next video. Of the students who didn't watch the video, 70% will watch the next video and 30% will not watch the next video. So make a transition diagram and a transition matrix. Good luck.